Hmm. Okay, for those who stick around past 20 seconds, today is April 25th, um, and it's just after sunset. Um, it looked like it was a really nice one. I thought about, like, if only I was someplace with a really, good view and vantage point from someplace on this planet. Um, I'm sure it looked a lot better than the view out my window, but still, it looked pretty nice. And, you know, just those little things that I think about. It's like, yeah, but of all the things that I see in my, travels about the day, those little things, it's like, oh, I wish I had a picture of that. Or it's like, I can't take a picture of everything. I can't record everything. And who's going to see it? And who is going to care, really? It matters to me. I see it. But as far as like what it means to anybody else, who's going to even take the time? I have no idea what anything means to anybody else. Or yeah. So anyway, but I did notice after all the rain we got this morning, early this morning, that the river that goes through the park was way up, almost out of its banks, and crossing the bridge, because I went for a run, crossing the footbridge or bike bridge or whatever, the water was so high up that it was just underneath the planks. And I thought about, if this thing breaks free and starts, floating, which I don't think it could, yeah, I could surf it, and probably ride it a little bit, and because I don't think it would topple over. If it did, and I got trapped or knocked unconscious, yeah, I'd be toast. But that didn't happen, and I just, but the thought crossed my mind, just be prepared, and I could probably leap for it because it's not that long of a bridge. I'd probably get caught off guard. But anyway, but I thought about going back and taking pictures of said water and the sounds and the sights of the flood. And then I was like, oh, I just did that, just a week or two ago. Videos of high water, not that high, but it was just like, no. Yeah. But I did see an even more alluring, evocative sight from some sort of tree that had just had wind from the storm knock off a bunch of purple petals, purple pink blossom petals onto the path, and created a very, and it was also like a very well shaded portion, so it was like a little corridor of a petal path. So I thought about going back and taking pictures of that, or walking with the video, but I didn't do that either. I just finished my run, called it good, and decided to be like, well, another time, for a walkabout to be determined. So anyway, like I said, I did my run today, April 25th, and then it was a run of sixes, 66 minutes, 66 seconds. So, and let's see, what else? Oh, yes, follow up on the work thing. Yeah, I'm still glad I made the decision that I made, and I'm glad that I took the time and thought it out about the different angles to it, and possible repercussions and responsibilities and things like that. Because I had a discussion with the guy who's leaving, who still is leaving. This Thursday will actually be his last day, and I won't be there. So that's good, because it's awkward. I don't like goodbyes, so I'll make sure I say goodbye in my own way before I leave on Wednesday. but I mentioned to him a couple of questions and a couple of reasons why I was not interested in his job, and I let him know, you know, delicately about how I don't think that, you know, there's an equality, an equity to what he does versus the other guy that supposedly shares his job, gets paid the same, yet this guy, he does like the lion's share of all the extra tasks and management and responsibilities, and everybody goes to him when they have questions or problems, because the other guy is just kind of worthless. Is, you know, not my words. So anyway, and I was one of the reasons, just one of the reasons why I didn't want it. I didn't want that job, is because I didn't want to have to fall into that, because that would just be like, he makes the same, and I'm the one that has to do all this now. And it's like, and he doesn't even know how to do stuff, and I have to. I'm responsible for it. If something goes wrong, it's going to be my fault. Whereas he gets paid, compensated the same as me, and doesn't have to deal with all the other stuff. It's like, how's that? That's not fair. So anyway, if I don't like the contract, I don't have to enter into the contract. I can see it and be like, no. So I let him know, and he agreed, basically. He was like, yeah, I've been thinking about that too. You know, I guess he just dealt with it, accepted it as the reality that he found himself in, and just grudgingly dealt with it for as long as he did. But maybe that's one of the reasons, you know, that added to his decision to, like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this place. So anyway, I don't know. I didn't ask him that question. It's none of my business. It's a little bit personal. And he didn't volunteer, so I didn't ask. So we had a good chat. And he understood why I didn't want it. And I did find out that they do have his replacement already in mind. Somebody that actually used to work for the Night Stock crew. So I already know them. And yeah, so good luck to them. And they're a nice person. I will do my best to answer any questions that they might have that are within my ability to answer, because they don't have experience with some things that I do, which made me a better candidate, not a good candidate, but a better candidate. And this person will have, you know, probably a steeper learning curve. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll take to it. I don't know. I don't really know them that well. They might take to it and be better at it, and fly with it a lot better than I can, because I just can't deal with that stuff. They might have a personality type that is better suited, which I'm sure is, there's probably a lot of personality types that are better suited than mine. And I do believe them to be, you know, a neurotypical. So the job is designed for somebody that is neurotypical. Much is designed for neurotypical. Oh, and I also did find out that I'm not the only one that was approached at the store who was also asked if they were interested in the job. And I'm also not the only one that turned it down for many of the same reasons. So, and they asked me, you know, because just, didn't you get, and I was like, yeah. And so we just had a little discussion. So, yeah, we both agreed it was the money's nice, but the responsibility and the stress, no, it's not worth it. And the hours, it's like neither of us were, so for different reasons, I'm sure. They have their own life situation, I have my life situation, but that was good for me to realize that I wasn't like such a abnormal person to have turned down such a great opportunity, because it's like, I don't think it was so great. Besides the money, you know, besides the money, but at what cost? So anyway, I guess that's all I got. I got something baking in the oven, and so this will be a shorter one. and I don't want it to get overcooked. So this will just be done in a little bit. Oh, and I did have a thought. Yeah, I know. About the meaning of life. And I was thinking about how one of the things I used to say, and still agree with, but my thought has changed, is that life serves a purpose unto itself, which means whatever. But then my thought today was more about life being an unceasing, relentless series of rhetorical questions. Because there is no answer. There is no good answer. There is no right answer. There is no one answer. There's just a lot of questions. And we just keep asking them. And the answers change, the questions change, life goes on. And it's best not to dwell or get stuck. It's best to live. The best one knows how. And people that have answers, be wary of those who propose they have answers, or are correct, or are right, or their way is the way. It's like, good luck. There's lots of ways. Everybody's got to find, and if that involves, adopting somebody else's way, great. If it works, if it's people have choice. So I just know that I have tried other people's ways of living and being and doing and believing even, but a lot of it just feels forced and fake and artificial and phony, and I am better off just finding my own way, even if I don't know what that way is. It's just better that way, even if it's hard. But it'll be real. That's the most important thing to me. It won't be somebody else's. It'll be real, and it'll be of my own understanding. So anything goes wrong, anything goes right. Yeah. So it's like I'm not in charge, though. I'm living in a grace period at the mercy of lots of different things that are going on. So I have to work, in concert with many elements, and still somehow remaining in keeping and finding individualism, authenticity, and identity in the mix. And keeping my sanity and my wits relatively intact. So anyway, I really need to go because I hear the bells of 9 o'clock. So it's a good life as long as I remember it.